Hey Vine Kids, welcome to our first lesson in our new series, The Wilderness. By now you should have sang a song together with your family and read our passage of scripture for this lesson, which is Exodus 15. Hope that you've done that. I'm glad that you've joined us via this video. We are excited about what the Lord has in store for us over these next couple weeks with this new series, The Wilderness. So if you've been with us at all over the last little bit, we have talked about the Israelites wandering in the wilderness, right? If you remember, we know that they were released from their captivity, their bondage in Egypt, and they were sent forth. They crossed through the Red Sea, and now we get to this point in the story in Exodus 15, where they've walked through the Red Sea. They're expecting life to be better, and it turns out it's not. Things are not going well for them, right? They try to drink the water's bitter. And so what do? They grumble against Moses. I wonder if you have ever grumbled at a time in your life. Maybe you've done that this week. Maybe this first week since you have been home from school, you may have grumbled. Maybe you grumbled that you're missing school, you're missing seeing your friends. Maybe you grumbled because you don't get to play baseball right now, or you don't get to play soccer, or you don't get to play some other sport. So I wonder if you could think of a time where you have grumbled. I know for me, it doesn't take me long to think of that. I grumble way too much in my life, but I can think recently, because of this coronavirus that we've been going through, a time where I've grumbled. So a couple weeks, me and a friend of mine had tickets to the ACC tournament in Greensboro. I was very excited. I went to one of the days of the ACC tournament. We had a really good time. And then on Wednesday, I got the news that the tournament was going to be canceled. That they were doing away with the tournament, that they were probably going to do away with the rest of the basketball season. And let me tell you, I grumbled a lot. I was very disappointed. I was very upset that I couldn't go to these basketball games, that my favorite team wasn't going to get to participate in the NCAA tournament. They worked really hard. I didn't work very hard. I just cheered very hard. But I was very disappointed, and I grumbled. I was upset. I want you to know that our response in times of turmoil, our response when things aren't going our way, should not be grumbling, right? We have the ultimate good news to rejoice over. We have God on our side. I want us to think about the one who we always gather for, being Jesus, right? Jesus, he came to the earth. He lived a life. He lived a perfect life. He lived a life that you and that me, that we try to live, but we always fall short of that. And then eventually Jesus, even though he was completely innocent, was crucified. But if we read in the Gospels, we see that Jesus, while he was being crucified, while he was on his way to be crucified, Jesus didn't grumble. He submitted to the will of the Father. He trusted that God's plan was better than anything else. We have to do the same thing. We have to follow in Jesus' example, knowing and trusting that God has a plan and that God's plan will never, ever fail. So how about this week and the weeks to come, however long that we are being affected by the coronavirus, how about whenever we are tempted to grumble, whenever we are tempted to go after things that we don't need to, whenever we're tempted to whine and complain, how about we choose joy instead? How about we choose trust? Because that's what Jesus did. Our word today, as we sang in the song, is trust. We trust God because God is completely trustworthy. So now, what I want you to do is, you'll see in your PDF, that your lesson PDF that your parents should have, you'll see that there's an activity related to this lesson. What I want you to do is, I want you to go outside. I want you to walk around outside, take a real big deep breath. Maybe you haven't been outside a lot over the last couple weeks. Take a real big deep breath, and I want you to go and find some things that may be found in the wilderness, right? So what does that look like? Maybe some leaves, maybe some sticks, maybe some dirt. I don't know. Whatever you can find, I would love for you to find that. Go outside, find that, gather that together. Then I want you to come back inside. I want you to take a piece of paper, find a piece of blank paper. I want you to put those leaves and those whatever you find on that paper, glue it to it, tape it to it, whatever you want to do, however you want to get it to stick to that paper. Then I want you to write the verses that are included on the PDF on that paper, so that it may be a reminder that even in the wilderness, even when things are confusing, even when things don't make a lot of sense, like right now, that we can trust God, that God is on our side, and that we can trust Him forever. So I hope you have a good week. I hope that this lesson has been good for you, and I can't wait to see you next week via video. All right, have a good one.